Most people see fitness as just a chore. It's a checklist, and that's why they quit. But they're missing the bigger picture, and once you see it, everything changes. When I was around 15, 16 years old, I made a decision that at the time seemed small. I wanted to lose some weight. That's it. I wasn't thinking about changing my life, and I certainly wasn't planning for the future. I just didn't like how I looked or felt, and I knew something needed to change. But the roots of that decision went way, way deeper than I realized when I was just a teenager. Growing up, I wasn't a stranger to challenges. I had a pretty solid work ethic, thanks to Boy Scouts and summer camps that pushed me to try new things and test my limits. I'd worked my way all the way up to Eagle Scout, and that sense of progression, of reaching the next level, had always felt rewarding. But physically, I wasn't particularly confident. I was kind of a chubby band nerd kid who played video games, and I didn't really have much interest in sports. Sure, I played Little League, and I thought I wanted to be a baseball player, but I didn't stick with it. And by high school, my life was more about video games and band and not really interested in moving my body. But everything changed at one summer camp. One of the challenges that week was swimming a mile. Now, I'd always loved the water. I was like a fish as a kid, but I never had done anything that physically demanding before. My dad encouraged me to sign up, and so I did. And he did it with me, which was really awesome. But by the end of the week, I'd swam that mile, and the feeling was incredible. For the first time in my life, I'd realized what it felt like to truly push my body beyond what I thought it could do. That week wasn't just about swimming. It was about the subtle shifts. I drank water all week, no sodas, no sugary drinks, and that wasn't even something intentional. Soda just wasn't available. But when I got home, I noticed something. It felt good, better than I had in a long time in my young life. So I stuck with the water and I cut out soda completely, and that small change made a huge difference. Within about a month, I dropped about 20 pounds. Now, that was the spark. I didn't have a grand plan, but I started to think, well, what else can I change? Around that time, I discovered the Insanity Workout Program online. You right, remember it from Shaun T. And I didn't really acquire it in the most appropriate way, but I was a broke teenager, so I downloaded it and convinced my dad to do it with me in our garage. And it was brutal. Those workouts, they're no joke. But something about the challenge resonated with me deep at a core. 3 months later, I'd lost another 20 pounds. That was 40 pounds gone in just a few months. And for the first time, I felt like I had control over my body and my confidence. But I still had more to discover. One of my friends, another guy who struggled with his weight, asked me to go to the gym with him. I had no idea what I was doing, but I went. And from that moment that I picked up a weight, I was hooked. Lifting wasn't a workout, it was a revelation for me. It felt empowering in a way that I had never experienced before. So I started devouring any information about bodybuilding that I could find, mostly YouTube videos, and I learned everything I could about building muscle and burning fat. By the time I got to college, my motivations were there, but not fully formed in the healthiest way. If I'm honest, it's still mostly about looking good and attracting girls. And I think that's okay. Sometimes our initial motivations don't have to be profound, they just have to get us started. But over time, I started to realize that fitness wasn't just something I did, it was something that touched every single part of my life. First, I thought it was just about looking better, feeling a little more confident. But the deeper I got into it, the more I saw how it shaped the way that I lived, the way that I connected with people, and even the way that I worked. And it became the thread that wove everything together. The first and most obvious change was my health. When I started paying attention to what I ate, moving more, and actually treating my body like something worth taking care of, everything else improved. I had more energy. I slept better. And for the first time, I felt like I had control over how I felt day to day. It wasn't about chasing perfection. or forcing myself into some extreme routine. It was about making small choices that over time added up to something bigger. And that realization stuck with me. It wasn't just about losing weight or getting stronger. It was about creating a foundation that made everything in life easier. What I didn't expect was how much it would change my relationships. At first, fitness felt like a personal journey, something I did for myself. But the more I grew, the more I started connecting with people who valued the same things. Some of my closest friendships were formed in gyms, on fields, in spaces where people were pushing themselves to be better. With my wife, it became something that we built our lives around. Not just working out together. In fact, we rarely work out together, but making choices that align with the kind of life that we want to live. It's funny how taking care of yourself makes you a better partner and a better friend. You show up differently when you feel good in your own skin. And that even spilled over into my work. Now, obvious aside, being a trainer, fitness is my work. But putting what I do aside, the discipline of showing up in the gym and training your body means I show up for my clients every day. I show up in my business, even when I don't feel like it. And you learn how to push through discomfort and how to stay consistent. And that's the same discipline that helps you succeed in every other part of your life. I saw it in my own life, but I also see it in the people that I trained. Those executives, the CEOs and business owners that I coach, they thought they were too busy to prioritize their health. But once they did, and they realized after going through it that they physically got stronger, they also got mentally sharper, they got more efficient, and they became better leaders. In fact, fitness wasn't taking time away from their work, it was making them better at it. But the biggest shift wasn't physical at all. Fitness changed the way that I saw the world. There's something about putting in work day after day with no instant results that teaches you patience. It teaches you resilience. You can't fake progress in the gym. You either put in the work or you don't. And once you internalize that, it changes the way you approach everything. I stopped looking for shortcuts. I stopped expecting results overnight. And I started trusting the process and even enjoying it a little bit. It's not just in fitness, it's in life. And that's why I keep showing up. Not because it's easy, but because every rep, every run, every single drop of sweat reminds me that I'm capable of more than I think. And that's the real lesson. It's not just about changing your body. I've said it 100 times in this video. It's about changing who you are. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. One small decision, one step in the right direction. And commit to that over time. That adds up to something bigger than you ever imagined. And trust me, it's worth it. These are the things that I've done to make fitness a lifestyle and really how it's impacted me. So if you want to get started today, just take action. Go for a walk. Go sign up at a gym. Do something hard. And I promise you're not going to see the results today. But step by step, rep by rep, day after day, build a little consistency. And that's how you're going to make fitness an integral part of your lifestyle. And you're going to wake up a year from now, 5 years from now, and you're going to be a different person. And I promise you're going to be happier with who that person is. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.